so thrilled about our next guest. Kirt Manecke is joining us via Skype. He is the author of the book, Smile the Book. And this is the book that Temple Grandin has said that all of our teens should be reading. And so we're thrilled to have Kirt here with us. And Kirt, give us a little bit of background, because you had a book before this that I kind of went gazonga about, and you and I just were talking about briefly, because I'm a customer service geek. I don't know about everybody else that's out there. I not only expect, but I appreciate good customer service, and this is an area that you know quite a bit about. So tell us a little bit about you and how this book came to be.
Sure. I wrote my first book, Smile, Sell More with Amazing Customer Service, Shannon. It's a 60-minute crash course. Neiman Marcus uses it for training. And then I had all these moms and teachers come up to me and they said, "You've got to get this book in the schools." And I said, "Really? I really wrote it for businesses." And they said, "It's all the people skills kids aren't learning." So I thought, let me just write one that has teens on the front cover. So I took the concepts in that book and then wrote my book, Smile and Succeed for Teens, Must Know People Skills for Today's Wired World. And that's a crash course in social skills and job skills. And I added 50 informative illustrations with educational captions. And I spent 9 months meeting with teens and moms and grandmas to make sure it had everything the kids wanted. I added a chapter on how to interview and get a job, a chapter on volunteering, and a section on overcoming stress. And it's really I didn't write it for the autism market, but that's who's really buying it, the special education teachers and the school districts and the special education directors.
Well, and it makes great sense to me, I got to be honest, because, and I love that you didn't write it for the autism community, because I see, I'm a former teacher and I taught in high schools and junior high schools, and there's just a bunch of things. If you think about it, there's a finite number of hours in which you can teach somebody something, right? And
Sure.
Now with a TV on and, iPads laying around everywhere and smartphones, a lot of the time that we would have traditionally been teaching our kids some of the really important life skills, and I'm talking all kids,
Yes.
that we would have been teaching that gets eaten up by, the media and social media and all these other things. And we see in general that there is a population of people coming along that are coming of age that don't have some of the really essential life skills. And it just so happens that our kids on the autism spectrum tend to miss out on those things too, because they have a deficit in social skills. So I think you're hitting it out of the park for all of our kids. And I think it's a great book to give as a gift to anybody who has any teenager, but it's essential, as Temple said, for our kiddos who are on the autism spectrum. It's the roadmap. It's all, we always talk about the puzzle piece. There's things that are missing in autism, and these are the things that are missing that are important to have in order to have job skills. And I love that the title of it is Smile. Talk a little bit about the power of a smile.
Well, the power of smile, that's what the book looks like if you can see it. But I put smile right on the cover because that's your first impression. And first impressions, as you know, matter. They set the foundation for future friendships, for future business transactions. I don't care how fancy you get with the building or the store inside. If you don't have that proper greeting with a smile and a friendly hello, the rest of it's not going to matter. So that's why I named my book Smile, because I would go into so many companies, into their businesses, and nobody was smiling. And I'm sure you've encountered that too, being, how passionate you are about customer service.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. There are things, I was saying to Kirt before we went live that even when my son was little and not yet verbal, I am just, former teacher, and customer service is my thing. So I was always talking to him about customer service and pointing out, the one thing about me that I'll say, I'm tough on customer service, but if somebody gives me good customer service, I'm the person who calls the phone number on the receipt and calls corporate and says, I'm standing here with Joelle, and Joelle just gave me good customer service. And here's why, and I call the manager over. I'm that crazy woman. Because I love it, because you don't get it very often.
You don't. It's very rare. I mean, it's really, really rare. And I think that's why Temple Grandin really, I was telling you, she called me and said, "Get this book out to all teens," because it's all the basic job skills. No teen is going to get trained on this stuff on the job. They'll learn how to use the cash register, but I guarantee 99% of the time, they are not going to learn these important social skills.
And here's the thing that everybody, I think, needs to know, and why your book is so important, is that when a kid starts out in those entry-level jobs where they're going to be working the cash register, and people always say, well, how does somebody go from that to being the manager of the store? And I think the answer is all in customer service. The people who know how to do those little things, whether they like it or not.
Yes.
That giving the smile, you don't have to feel the smile in your toes, but if you smile at somebody, the response that you're going to get is going to be better from that customer. And if you do it day in and day out, that's the person who gets, more responsibility. And then when they deal well with that, they end up being the assistant manager and end up being the manager, and they get more money.
Exactly. And you mentioned smile. I'll show you. The very first page in my book, you'll like this if I can show the camera, that's the first illustration. I don't know if you can see that, but it's
You got to pull it,
smiles.
hold it up a little bit higher, Kurt. Cover your face with it. There you go. And I still can't see it well enough without my glasses to know what it is that you're showing me. So tell me what you're showing me.
So there's two kids, a boy and a girl, and they're both smiling and they look happy. And if you walk, if a teen is working in a business and he or she smiles at that customer and just says hello, that's huge, because I'll tell you what, most places I walk into at least once a day, they don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but they don't.
Yeah. Well, my biggest pet peeve, and if you talk to my son, he can tell you, when I go up to somebody in a store and I say, do you have X, Y, or Z? And the response that I get 9 times out of 10, they go, I don't know. I know,
Yeah,
right?
Yes, I covered in my book, and it says when you don't know the answer, ask. So you never say that. You say, I'm not sure, but let me go find out. I'll be right back.
Exactly. My son will tell you, since he was little, I think he was probably 2 when I would drill it into his head, there's never a period at the end of I don't know. It always continues into, but I'll find out.
Exactly.
And how much do we love it when somebody says that?
Oh, and it's so rich to see that. And you as a former teacher, I should tell you that I do have even a teaching guide for this. So a lot of schools use it, and it's great because then the kids are ready. And when you go in a store or a business where they're working, or a restaurant, you ask them something, if they use the book and the teachers use the teaching guide, if somebody says, is this gluten-free, they're not going to say, I don't know. They'll say, you know what, I'm not sure, but let me go ask the chef. I'll be right back.
Exactly.
And that's
exactly.
so critical.
And here's the thing about that I think is an amazing, that's the great life skill, because that's, there are a lot of jobs that are customer service centric, and there are jobs that aren't later on for some people. But either way, if you have that kind of a mindset where you're thinking to yourself, okay, I don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to go find out. That serves you well in any educational experience. You're going to do better in college and graduate skill. That's going to serve you in any job that you have, even if there isn't a customer standing there.
I couldn't agree more, Shannon. And that's like you and I know, and I'm sure your listeners know this too. Unfortunately, it's really rare to find that employee. And when you do, you're right. He or she will be promoted, and they will be the superstar employee. And they'll be, better with friendships too. This is all social skills are job skills.
Absolutely. We had somebody who just wrote in and said this is a great resource for teachers and therapists, and that they're suggesting it to their OT, speech, and behavior crew. What a great, great thing. Great gift. And honestly, what a great gift to give for Valentine's Day to our teens.
I forgot Valentine's Day is coming.
Yeah, that's a great, great gift to give for Valentine's Day. Smile and succeed rather than eat a piece of candy. So, Kurt, we love the book. Where are we going to get it?
You can go to my website, www.smilethebook.com, or you can go to Amazon and just type in Smile and Succeed for Teens in the search bar. It will come up, or Barnes & Noble, any of those locations.
And you're doing a fair amount of traveling. People have an opportunity to meet you from time to time. Do we find that on your website, where you're going to be, when you're going to be?
You can actually, if they follow my Facebook page, I haven't done anything for so far this year because I'm actually working on a parent's guide for this book. We have the teacher's guide, but then I want to finish the parent's guide, and I'm also working on a children's version of the book. on social skills for the little kids. So I haven't had
Wonderful.
really a chance to do much traveling, but it will be on my Facebook page when I do that again, and on my blog.
All right. And so when do you think the Parents Guide is going to be ready?
Boy, that's the next thing I'm working on. It should be ready, I would say safely by June 1st.
Okay.
I have some time to test it with parents, and I've got a teacher looking at it right now, an elementary school teacher. It's almost done, but I want to get a lot. In fact, there's a lot of parents around here that are actually looking at it. So once I get their input and tweak it and then test it with some kids and some schools, then I'll have it done. And probably June 1st, I would say.
Okay. Well, let us know if you need some parents to try it out, because we might know a few parents.
You know what? I actually will take you up on that. Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah, no, seriously, because we
I love that input.
we do know some parents. Some of them might be watching right now. In fact, she said sarcastically. But honestly, you know, we're always looking to fill in those Swiss cheese things for things that our kids know, and when it's concise and in one place. And this is not a huge tome. This is a small book, one of those great books that you can, you know, read sections of it and gain a lot from it. And I love that you've got a teacher's guide and that the parent's guide is coming. So you're hitting it out of the park. Tell us again where we need to go to be able to buy.
You can either go to my website, www.smilethebook.com, or go to Amazon and type in Smile and Succeed for Teens. It'll come right up. Or you can go to Barnes & Noble.
And you have a Facebook page too, yes?
Yes, I do have a Facebook page. If you go to my website, www.smilethebook.com, the Facebook is right at the top. Or you can go onto Facebook and just type in Smile and Succeed for Teens, and that will pop right up.
Wonderful. Well, keep up the good work. I think you're going to help a lot of our kids to be employment ready, and you're going to make customer service better, which for people like me makes me very, very happy.
For people like me too. Thank you so much, Shannon.
Thank you, Kirt. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much.
You too.